there. Welcome to our Resolute Faith series here at Life Purpose by Design. Our Resolute Faith series has been a conversation of self introspection and empowerment of what it means to purposefully, determinedly, and unwaveringly live out your purpose by faith. My desire is to encourage and to inspire you to take a deeper dive into an awareness of your true life purpose and how you're having the determination to live that purpose forward so that you can experience the fullness of your highest purpose by God's design. Join us for today's conversation, The Relentless Path. So today we want to talk about our life journey and the option that's available to us to travel through this journey of discovering our life purpose and excelling in that life purpose by choosing to take the relentless path forward. Question: are you challenged by what remains unclear, unresolved, unwelcomed, or even unplanned on your journey towards purpose? There's a quote that I found on Facebook today, and it says, "Great things never come from comfort zones," and the author was unknown. And so when we think about the relentless path forward, we have to get out of our comfort zones. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said it this way: take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. So when we think about being relentless, being determined, being unwavering, being purposeful, and stepping out on faith when things aren't as clear as we would like for them to be, when things aren't as comfortable as we would like for them to be, but we know that we have a purpose and we have to keep going forward. So when we think about the relentless path towards faith, one of the things that I want to share with you is this: the relentless pathway to realization of our highest purpose is discovered right beyond life's trials, twists, and turns. It's not a straightforward, obstacle-free zone. There are trials, there are twists and turns that we are going to encounter along the way when we make a decision that we are going to go forward. So don't be distracted or sidetracked when you are deciding that, you know what, I'm coming out of my comfort zone and I'm going to go forward on purpose. I've got to get to the other side of what this dream or what this vision is that God has given me. You have the power to create your own path. You have the power to decide how you're going to deal with the twists and the turns that you may encounter. So don't get sidetracked. Don't get discouraged to the point that you get off of the path that you know that you're supposed to be on. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done, because for when we are visual and we see something that looks maybe easier in a direction other than the direction we're supposed to be going in, or it's a light lift versus the heavy lift that we may have to take in order to go forward on purpose. There's a reason why those distractions are there. It's to keep you from being focused. It's to keep you from going forward on purpose. So when you discover your purpose, what I call your purpose aha moment, there's a process to that. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not one and done. So I want to challenge you or encourage you to think about some questions that you may need to ask yourself when you find yourself feeling like, maybe I just need to turn around. Maybe I just need to quit. Maybe I heard God wrong on this. No, you keep going forward, and God is more than able to redirect you. So I want to ask you a series of questions for you to have somewhere that you can just either memorize them or have them on a little note card that you can put in your pocket, in your purse, in your wallet, somewhere. The first question is, who am I becoming as I pursue purpose? So when you're on this path, you need to pay attention to who are you becoming? And prayerfully, you are seeing yourself growing closer and closer to the purpose and the vision that God has given you. Ask yourself, where am I today? Not just what I've done in the past, but where am I today? The next question is, where am I headed? You have to have your vision before you. And sometimes that's just writing your vision down so that you can, stick it on your mirror, put it somewhere that you can see it every single day. Make it a screenshot on your phone. Do something that you can tap into and see, this is where I'm headed and this is where I'm at today. Then think about, what are the choices that you need to make to get there? Every destination is filled with choices in order for you to arrive at that destination. What are the things that you need to say yes to? What are the things that you need to say no to? If you're like me, I've been saying yes to way too many things. And so I am stepping back, and now I'm saying more no to the things that's not serving purpose, at least for this season of life. There's a timing for everything. And yeah, there was a time that you can burn the candle at both ends. I've done it. But guess what? You're not going to be as productive. You're not going to be as fruitful versus you setting up healthy boundaries of knowing when to say yes and when to say no. What's my I can't quit now, I've come too far motivation? I find myself saying that sometimes when I'm feeling challenged, when it seems like what I'm working on is beyond my skill sets, is beyond my trying to figure out how to move forward, how to put all the pieces of the puzzles together. You need to find your I can't quit now. I've come too far to turn around. And whatever that is, hold on to it. Don't let that go. Because you and I, if we're here today, we have traveled a journey closer and closer to living out our purpose. For some of you all, you may just be trying to discover and get clarity about your purpose. There are those of us who we're quite clear as to what our purpose is, but then looking at the pathway to get there, sometimes we can feel sidetracked. Sometimes we can feel like maybe we started too soon or too late. But there's a perfect timing that God has for us. And if we would just stay on that, I can't quit now, I've come too far pathway and a mindset to keep moving forward, we will get there. You will get there. One of the first things that you can do is you need to relentlessly choose you. You got to say yes to you more than you're saying yes to all the distractions and all the invitations that you may get. Relentlessly choose you to be your authentic self. There's a quote that says, be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. What is it that sets your soul on fire? What is it that when you get up in the morning, you're saying, I've got to do this. If I don't do anything else, this is something that's got to be done. What is that thing that you say, no matter what else I don't get to do, this is most important. So I want you to dig deeper into those dreams and those visions that you've had. Maybe you have set them to the side. Maybe your one day list is so long that you are wanting to just trash the whole thing. I've been there where I just want to throw all the files just in the dumpster and just start over. But not today. Today, we are going to just take those things one at a time. I want you to prioritize them. Figure out, what do you need to say yes to? What do you need to say no to? What do you need to say later to? Don't let the dreams and the visions that God has given you just die. We got to reignite our faith. We got to be relentless. So one, relentlessly choose you. Say yes to you first. Secondly, do something. There's something called the triple aim effect. And the first part of that is you got to do something. The second is, if it works, do more of it. Third is, if it doesn't, do something else. And this is a quote by Franklin Roosevelt. So relentlessly choose you. Second, do something. If it works, do more of it. If it doesn't, do something else. I love this quote that I found by Winnie the Pooh. I always get to where I'm going by walking away from where I've been. If where you have been or where you are right now is not working for you, maybe you need to lay that aside and just prayerfully ask God for the directions. There's a scripture that says, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is God who directs our steps. So in our natural creativity, we got thousands of thoughts that's going through our brains at any given time. You know, you're filling out all these hundreds of sticky notes and journals and planning software, and you're trying to prioritize the day to day. You're not just trying to prioritize the business or the ministry, you got family responsibilities. And you're trying to figure out, how do I balance it? How do I fit it all in? One step at a time, by relentlessly choosing you. And secondly, by doing something. So I want to encourage you to just not give up. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. Quitting is never an option. So I want us to look at some characteristics of having a relentless mindset as you're saying yes to traveling on the relentless pathway that God has placed before you. The first is having a powerful, nearly unstoppable mindset for what is purpose for you. You can't be easily distracted. You can't be easily pulled to the side. When I say nearly unstoppable, because we don't do anything perfectly, but not giving yourself a way out, an excuse. So no more excuses, no more explanations or exceptions. We give ourselves way too many excuses, and we explain things away, and we make all these exceptions to the rule. No. In order to have that relentless mindset, you need to make choices, not excuses. You need to use wisdom, not just explanations that you give yourselves. And you need to strive for excellence instead of exceptions. Refuse to give in, refuse to give up, and refuse to give out. This relentless path is not the easy path, but you can do hard because you are empowered to do hard. Your faith empowers you. Your relationship with God empowers you. We can't do this stuff on our own. We will fail every time. We may get some positive results and outcomes, but they won't be lasting results. So when we choose by faith, and we choose by faith to say, I know that God has a plan. I know that God has a purpose for me. We're not giving in, we're not giving up, and we're definitely not giving out. And then it's showing up again and again and again. You may be uncertain as to why you're showing up, but yet you are convinced. You are convinced that I belong here, that I belong in this place. I may have some questions. I may actually have some doubts, but yet I am convinced that Jeremiah 29:11, where God says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. And I know, thank you, Sonia, for joining us today. And I know you and I have talked about we ain't giving in, we ain't giving up, and we definitely not giving out. So I also want to remind you that you can just say to yourself, hey, I wasn't born just to be a spectator on live sidelines. I too represent what I'm calling Kingdom's MVP, most valuable on purpose. God has given us a kingdom influence. Your purpose is unique to you, and it is the most valued purpose that God has given you. This is not about comparison. This is not about, your purpose is more important than ours, like they do in the sports world. No, God is saying, I have fearfully and wonderfully created you, and I have given you the most valued purpose, And the most valued purpose is for you to be you on purpose. So part of this relentlessly choosing you and doing something is, and having the relentless mindset, is that we got to get past our past. We cannot stay entangled and trapped in past mistakes, past missteps, early starts that failed. We got to get past what didn't work yesterday. We even got to get past some of our past successes. Yes, that was a great, you did it, you succeeded at it, you got great results, but guess what? Today, God has something more for you to do. He's wanting to take you to the next level. He's wanting you to level up, not sit around in the comfort zone of yesterday's success. There are more people that you and I need to reach. There's more work that we need to do so that we can represent the kingdom here on earth. So Johnny Dent Jr., who is an author, says, get past your past, be a presence in your present that know your future. So you got to be present and have enough in your present. Wherever you find yourselves, don't be on the sideline somewhere where nobody even notices that you exist. God has given you today to be present with Him, and then to be present, walking unstoppably in the purpose that He has given you. And don't let anybody challenge, categorize, downsize, redirect your future. In the world of coaches and mentors and all the different voices that we have speaking to us, and God has gifted and given gifts and talents for us to work collaboratively and partnership with all these supports. But don't let anybody tell you what you can't be in Christ. When you are definitely assured of what your purpose is, maybe what you're doing, they haven't seen it done before. Maybe they haven't seen it done that way. Maybe they haven't heard a voice like yours before. Maybe they haven't read a book like yours before. Whatever that is, maybe they haven't met a parent like you before. When you're on the front line for your family, maybe you do come off differently and you're unique. That's fine, because God created you to be unique and one of a kind. God has something so much more for each of us. So we need to acknowledge our past, but we don't need to live there. There are things from our past that we are grateful for, that we cherish, and that we can use as fuel for us to go forward with determination, with purpose, and unwavering in our faith. But don't let your past be your comfort zone. Let it be a compass for you to go forward. So when we think about how is this relentless purpose realized, from one, it starts with making a personal choice that I really want to discover what my God designed purpose is. I want to know the why behind our who, because we put so much emphasis into our who that we forget our why, the why that God created us. So when we're taking that relentless path by unstoppably living out your faith to become the who behind your why. So your who and your why, they go together. Your who you become means nothing if it's not based on the foundation of why God created you in the first place, the purpose for which He's given you to serve. So let's make the choice today to remain relentless, no matter what threatens your realization of purpose, no matter what it looks like, wow, I have no idea how this is going to work out, no matter what the doubts are, no matter. I had a thought, a couple of months ago for something I was working on that I laid to the side, and I laid to the side, and I forgot I had laid it to the side. But when God brought it back to my remembrance, my first words in prayer was, God, is it too late? And I realized, why would I ask Him that? If He brought it back to my remembrance, He was resurrecting it. So maybe it's something that you think they have just died in your purpose and in your plan. I'm telling you, you just need to pray, see God's face, let Him resurrect. And it may not look the way that it was when you first heard it or you first got the set of directions, because God knows who's in your atmosphere now, and He knows the version of you that needs to show up. So let the version of you that is for the now time. Remember Esther and her story? There was a now time for Esther to show up for such a time as this. When you are making the decision to move with determination, with purpose, and unwavering in your faith on that unstoppable synergy of knowing that God gave you a purpose and He is going to equip you to fulfill it for such a time as this. So today, let this be your for such a time as this. Let's just show up. Let's not show up necessarily and we may not be full of confidence, but I believe there's a holy confidence that we can have that surpasses our natural sense of confidence. So I want you to follow me with what I'm called Say It With Me. And so whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on the replay, I want you to just repeat after me. Choose to just be okay. I choose to just be okay. I am okay to be uncertain. I'm okay to travel the least traveled path. I'm okay to let life's challenges transform my expectations. I'm okay to emerge later than never. I am okay to just be okay on my journey to purpose. I want you to remember that it is always okay to emerge later than never. When we're talking about being relentless, it's about knowing timing, knowing not just the perfect timing, but knowing the timing when you should have started a month ago, but God has graced you to restart today. So I want to just encourage you on this path of relentless purpose, relentless faith, and relentlessly not giving in, up, or out. I want to encourage you with the word that I found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 58, and this is the Message version. It says, with all that's going for us, my dear, dear friends, stand your ground and don't hold back. Throw yourselves into the work of the Master, confident that nothing you do for Him is a waste of time or effort. You've got to stand your ground when you know that you are being guided, directed, and purposed for such a time as this. You got to stand your ground on that. You got to relentlessly choose you. You got to do something. You got to have that relentless mindset. Author and speaker Lori Vober says it this way: every challenge is an opportunity, and every opportunity is a choice. I love the quote that life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. I want to just encourage you today, as we've been going through this Resolute Faith series for the month of October. I know a lot of people are trying to figure out, how do I finish stronger in these last 90 days in this year? But I want you to not be so concerned about the next 90 days than you are focused on today. If we just focus one day at a time, and I'm not saying not to have a 90-day goal and a plan, have that. Have your plan going into the new year. But I want you to step back, and I want you to revisit the questions that I had you to ask yourselves earlier. Who am I becoming in pursuit of purpose? Where am I today? Where am I headed? What are the choices I need to make in order to get me there? What must I say no to? What must I say yes to? What's my I can't quit now? I have come too far motivation. I just want to encourage you today, start where you are and do something on your relentless path to realizing and experiencing the highest level purpose that God has designed for you on purpose. Thank you so much for joining us for the month of October on our Resolute Faith series. I'm looking so forward to our new series for November. So I hope that you will join us here right at Life Purpose by Design. And let's just keep moving forward with purpose, with determination, and unwavering in our faith so that we can have the realization and the fulfillment of our Jeremiah 29:11 promise and destiny that God has given to us. Be blessed, and I'll see you here next time at Life Purpose by Design.